Ladies and gentlemen, it is that wonderful time of the year. The NBA playoffs are back, and I have never looked forward to an NBA playoffs as much as this season. There's just so much star power. The teams are insanely stacked and relatively healthy. I know we've seen some injuries in the first round so far, but coming into the playoffs, it's been pretty healthy. So we have 8 different playoff matches, and this is the NBA Pick'em Bracket Challenge, where you pick all of your matchups in order to earn NBA prizes, and if you somehow manage to get a perfect bracket, you win $1 million. Let's be realistic, that's not happening, but hey, if it does, then I can stop working. That's wonderful, but it's obviously not going to happen. Make sure to comment your champions down below, as well as any upsets you think will happen. What is the series that you're most looking forward to? So the matchups we have are the Nuggets Timberwolves, Suns Clippers, Kings Warriors, Grizzlies Lakers, Bucks Heat, Cavs Knicks, 76ers Nets, and Celtics Hawks. As always, if you guys do enjoy, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. And let's get to these selections. Now the first round matchup we have is Denver against Minnesota. Now this is an easy pick as to the winner. Denver is clearly going to win this, but how many games will they win this? That is the true question. You know, it's either going to be 4 or 5. There's no way Minnesota squeaks 2 out of the series, but usually I like to give the away team their one game. Usually they squeak out a random game at home, but then the better team eventually finishes them off in a gentleman's sweep. So I have Denver in 5 here. Next up, we have the Suns versus the Clippers. As you can see, the series is tied 1-1. We are doing this pick'em bracket until it expires. It actually expires 7:25 tonight on this Thursday. It literally expires in 15 minutes, so we got to get this done quick. They do let 2 games of each series play by, so you know who to select better. That being said, the series is tied 1-1 right now. I have to go with Phoenix just because their roster is so talented compared to the Clippers. Clippers are without Paul George right now. Suns have an insane big 3 of Durant, Booker, and Paul, with some other great supporting pieces as well. I have them winning in 6. Clippers will definitely sneak out another game with playoff Kawhi, but I don't see them pushing this to a game 7 at all. Also, Kawhi is injured for tonight's game. That being said, I think the Suns are pretty easily going to win tonight's game, so we're kind of looking at this series like the Suns have a 2-1 series lead. The next matchup, we have the most entertaining first round matchup, and that is the Kings Warriors. Kings are already up on the series 2-0 in 2 very close and intense games. Warriors are not being swept, no matter what anybody thinks. In my opinion, they're definitely going to have a bounce-back game tonight at the Chase Center. They're a much better home than away team. And if I'm being completely honest, I think they even out the series after their 2 games at the Chase Center. That being said, going back to Sacramento, I think the Kings will win. And maybe the Kings finish it off in the Chase Center. Either way, I have the Kings winning this in 6 games. The Warriors are not going out without a fight. They'll squeak in 2 games. Maybe the Kings will win in 7. I could actually see the Warriors winning 3 games. But let's go with 2. I think that's the more realistic event. So we have Kings in 6. Now we have an extremely intriguing matchup with the Lakers Grizzlies. Grizzlies have the higher seeding, the better record, home court advantage. However, the Lakers have LeBron, Anthony Davis, so much more playoff experience, and they have the best record in the West since the All-Star break. That being said, due to them having a really hot stretch right now and just more experience, and LeBron is on their team, I think the Lakers pick up this series in 7 games. I don't know if that's considered an upset or not, but I definitely think the experience will push the Lakers over. Now we're on to Milwaukee versus Miami. Luckily, we already know that the Heat steal a win of the series. The series is tied 1-1 right now. Milwaukee is easily winning the series, let's be honest. How many games? I'll say 6 games just due to the fact that now Miami has home court advantage for the rest of the series. They could easily squeak out 1 more win in Miami, but besides that, Milwaukee's easily taking care of business. Knicks Cavaliers might be the most interesting and evenly matched series we have in the playoffs round 1. It is currently tied 1-1, and the Knicks have the Cavaliers number. However, I do believe that the Cavaliers are the more talented team. I think in the long run, the talent will overcome the success that the New York Knicks have had over Cleveland so far. It's going to be a very intense back and forth series, but in the long run, I think the Cavs' talent is just a little more, giving them the win in 7 games. Philadelphia versus Brooklyn, I have the 76ers in 4 games just due to the fact that the Nets are easily the worst team to make the playoffs this season. Their record was gifted to them by Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, and since then the record has not been great. Without KD and Kyrie starting with this team this season, they're not a playoff team. And if Mikal Bridges is your star player, who's a really great player, but if he's your number 1, that's not going to take you far in the playoffs. I have this being a sweep for Philly. Celtics Hawks, I also have this being a sweep. Celtics are clearly the more talented team. They have more playoff experience, they're deeper. They have better stars. Everything is just lining up in favor for the Celtics here, as I think they take care of this series in 4. I could see them losing a game in Atlanta, maybe if Scott Foster referees a game and he tries to even out the series, because you know Scott Foster is the series extender. But it's really tough to predict bad refereeing, so I'm just going to have to go with Celtics in 4 games here. We are now entering the second round of the NBA playoffs, and the first matchup we'll look at is Nuggets-Suns. I have the Suns winning this in 6, believe it or not. Even though the Nuggets put up a very impressive record this season, I think they're just one of those common #1 seed teams that have a great regular season but fall short in the playoffs to another roster, similar to what the Phoenix Suns did last year and many others. The big three of Booker, Durant, Paul will just be too much for Denver, and Denver has slowed down a little bit from earlier this season. They're not that powerhouse they were pre-All-Star break. Still an amazing team, but not playing at that exact level. Give me Phoenix in 6. Next up is Kings vs. Lakers. What an entertaining series this will be. The King against the Kings. Battle for California. The team with the least amount of playoff experience against the team which you could argue has the most playoff experience. I personally believe that the Kings are an all-around better team than the Lakers. They're deeper, they're more complete, much more young and energetic, and their speed is really going to give the Lakers some trouble with their older lineup. Also, the Sacramento Kings home court is insane. They'll be winning a lot of games this series strictly due to home court. I have a really close series though, because obviously you have LeBron James on the other side. If the Lakers manage to stay healthy, this is going to be a back and forth series, but in the long run, I have the Kings winning in 7 games. Bucks vs. Cavaliers. I think this is an easy selection to say that Milwaukee's winning this series, and I think it's also an easy selection to say that they're winning in 6 due to the fact that Cleveland is a great talented team, and we usually see series like this. The lesser team manages to pull out 2 games just because of the fact that they're a top 8 team in the league. Bucks will win pretty handily, but Cavs will show why they were there in the first place and win 2 games. Celtics vs. 76ers is going to be a really fun matchup to watch later this playoffs. This probably is the most certain matchup to be happening. There's no doubt in my mind that we'll see this matchup happen in the playoffs, and I have the Celtics winning this one in 6 as well. Similar to Bucks Cavs, I think everybody chooses the Celtics due to their more talented lineup and the fact that they have Philly's number. Holy moly, this team always dominates Philly. But like I said, they have the MVP, Joel Embiid, on their team, along with James Harden, who's having a really good season. Tyrese Maxey will help pitch in as well. So Philadelphia will not go down without a fight. They'll win 2 games, but Boston will wrap this series up. Now to the conference championships, we have Phoenix, Sacramento, Suns vs. Kings. Suns with, in my opinion, the more talented roster, more playoff experience. Kings with the youth, energy, better home advantage, and home court advantage for the series. It's going to be a tight one. But with this big three of Durant, Booker, Chris Paul, it's going to take an insanely talented roster to beat them. This big three is the best we've seen since the Warriors dynasty. Kevin Durant has formed another insane team that's so top heavy they'll be tough to defeat. Kings will not mess around this series though. Their home court will help them to get plenty of wins. And De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis is an amazing top 2. This series will go to 7 games in my opinion, but the experience of playing in Game 7s, as well as just the overall talent, Phoenix will win this series in 7, heading to the NBA Finals for the first time since 2021. The Eastern Conference Finals, Celtics vs. Bucks. The matchup everybody's looking forward to this postseason. For the 4th time in 6 years, these teams will face. Obviously, they had that amazing 7-game series last year, but this time Middleton is healthy. Who knows if these 2 teams will be fully healthy by the time we see this matchup play out, but if they are, prepare for some fireworks. The Celtics are an improvement of last year. The Bucks are an improvement of last year. Celtics signing 6th man of the year Malcolm Brogdon will help. Tatum and Jaylen Brown performing even better than last year, getting closer to their primes. Same with a lot of other young talent on the roster. But Milwaukee gains Chris Middleton back, the 2nd best player on Milwaukee who was not there for the previous season. This series will be back in 4th, evenly matched throughout the series. However, the Celtics have just improved more than the Bucks have this season. This Celtics team we see is a higher percentage better than last year's than the Bucks team than last year's, if that makes any sense. This series will go to 7, and I think the Celtics will take it home in Pfizer Forum to lead to the NBA Finals. Just remember how clutch the Celtics were in an away game last year against Milwaukee in Game 6 in a do-or-die situation with Jason Tatum. I think they'll do the same here, and we will have a finals matchup of Phoenix versus Boston, the 2 recent NBA Finals losers. So who will finally become victorious? On one side, you have the deepest team in the league with the biggest rising stars. You have the best player in this series in Jason Tatum. 6th man of the year, Malcolm Brogdon. Rookie coach. and an amazing home court advantage with Boston and TD Garden. But on the other side, you have Kevin Durant's experience, the big three star power of Durant, Paul, and Booker, and an amazing coach in Monty Williams. Once again, this is going to be another gladiator battle, two amazing teams. And call me a dreamer, but once again, I have this series going to 7 games. We're due for an NBA Finals going to 7 games anyways. The last series to go to 7 was Cleveland Golden State all the way back in 2016. So it's only a matter of time, and I think this year we finally see another Game 7. That being said, the Celtics will have home court, and their home court of TD Garden is so immense, the fans will be rocking. The insane momentum combined with the talent of Boston will prevail in Game 7, winning the Boston Celtics their first championship in 15 years. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. That'd be much appreciated. Everybody's predictions are going to be completely different. This playoffs is wild. A lot of situations, we don't know what team's going to come out on top. That being said, put your predictions in the comments. Who do you think is going to win? Any postseason surprises? Which series you're looking to the most? Put that all down in the comments. I love reading your thoughts, and I usually leave a comment and respond. You guys are an awesome viewer base. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day and enjoy the rest of the NBA playoffs, and I will see you guys in the next Heaps video.